heard of whippets, a drug abused sometimes using balloons and whipped cream containers. But now some people say the gas is far easier to get, and one doctor believes that access could be causing a crisis.
As Rob Krieger reports, a local father says the gas put his daughter in the hospital, and he believes some companies could be using loopholes while supplying a high.
Bright colors, bubbly logos, packing a punch.
It hits like crack cocaine taste.
Boasting video game designs with on-demand gratification.
It's instant, it's right there, and then it's gone.
With candy-like flavors.
You continuously want that high.
Blueberry mango.
You snap back really, really quick.
Vanilla cupcake, watermelon lemonade.
You just want another one.
Within reach.
You can go get them right down the street.
On shelves at corner stores and smoke shops.
You're spending all your money.
Sometimes offered with a complimentary mouthpiece.
You don't even have to have cash. You can use a credit card.
Users say it brings up a brief but fleeting euphoria.
Just wasting it away, and it's just gone as fast as you can spend it.
In a breath, it's over.
Most people know it as laughing gas.
Chemically known as nitrous oxide, health educator Dr. Eric Griggs says medical professionals have used the gas safely in clinical settings for more than 250 years.
The unfortunate thing is, for the exact number of centuries that it's been used, it's also been abused.
Greg Comble sees that firsthand.
This stuff has taken over my daughter and everything that she ever knew.
He believes his daughter started abusing nitrous oxide when she was 18 years old.
She only did a little bit at a time, maybe parties and stuff like that, and it grew to be a very big problem, a genuine addiction.
It's because people get a euphoric high. That's why they do it. It may work on opiate receptors the way that that ketamine does.
Dr. Amir Gharikani, an associate professor in the Department of Psychiatry at Yale University, says frequent nitrous oxide users risk potentially fatal or life-altering consequences.
There have been many cases in emergency rooms and hospitals of people presenting with nerve damage, with blood diseases, with psychosis, mania, other psychiatric presentations.
Dr. Griggs says inhaling nitrous can deplete the body of B12. There
can be all kind of nervous damage, cerebral damage, cardiovascular implications, long-term implications.
People look like they've had spinal cord injuries. It can start as simple as something called neuropathy in their like tingling sensations in their extremities, their arms and legs, and to having problems with muscle pains and nerve pains in their legs, and difficulty walking, to the point where people sometimes become bedbound.
Symptoms Comble says he's seen right in his front yard when a friend of his daughter's hopped out of his truck with a nitrous tank in hand and crashed headfirst into his family's mailbox. A nightmare he's watching his daughter live through right now.
She is so addicted to this stuff that she just totally avoids her family and all of her friends now. It's ridiculous. When we do see her, she's shaking. She can't even eat a piece of pizza without it almost falling out of her mouth. She's doing really bad. She's been in rehab 3 times.
In just 3 weeks after his daughter moved out, Comble says he removed a horde of empty tanks from her new apartment, each one a tally of the toll on his daughter's life.
We calculated, this is $1,800 worth of product right here in a 3-week time that she's moved out and been living in an apartment with a roommate.
You could easily spend, a couple $1,000. Yeah, a month. Yeah, easily.
This man, who's currently battling an addiction to nitrous, agreed to speak candidly with us about the gas anonymously.
Some days I can spend $300 on it. I know users that'll spend $1,000 a day.
He says he's used nitrous oxide recreationally for more than a decade, but he says it's only recently that his abuse of the gas became a problem when nitrous tanks like these showed up in New Orleans neighborhood shops.
So found out about these, it was kind of easy access, grab a couple of them, and then it just became more of a thing and a pretty constant thing.
Dr. Gharikani believes increased access to nitrous oxide, like these larger format cylinders, could contribute to more frequent use.
The biggest impediment to people using in the old days was the access to cartridges and how expensive it was. But if people have access to tanks now,
You don't feel like you're doing something wrong. You know, you're buying it at the store. You know, so you don't have that kind of shame if you're buying other drugs.
Once addicted to crack cocaine, he says because you can buy this vice over the counter, his addiction to nitrous is far worse.
Because not anyone can just walk into a crack house at any time. It's rough. It's a hard drug, even though it's not supposed to be.
However, nitrous oxide is considered harmful enough that in clinical settings, the regulations to administer it start long before the mask goes on.
14 hours of didactic or academic learning plus 6 hours of actual doing cases to get yourself a personal nitrous permit.
Dr. Greg Phillips has practiced dentistry in Lutcher for 43 years.
I would say 20 to 30% of my patients require nitrous or would like to have nitrous for their dental work. Sometimes even for their cleanings. It kind of takes the edge off and makes you a little bit calmer in the dental chair. You know, dental anxiety unfortunately runs rampant.
He says dental offices can't use nitrous oxide or dispense it in any way without having a personal permit issued by the Louisiana State Board of Dentistry.
We have to document who uses and how long, okay? So it is very highly regulated for us.
But when it comes to buying it for a different use, there's no permit. In fact, while Louisiana law spells out it's illegal to inhale, ingest, or possess nitrous oxide, it provides 3 exceptions: when used by a licensed medical or dental practitioner, as part of a manufacturing process or industrial operation, and if the nitrous oxide is intended to be used as a propellant in food preparation, like when making whipped cream.
I mean, that's just it's a way to bypass the law.
this stuff is all made for kids to inhale.
Experts fear that puts a new generation on a potentially deadly path.
even if infrequent use occurs, the risks associated with that infrequent use because of the sheer amount that people are using.
In 2016, Dr. Garicani co-authored a review in the American Journal on Addictions, finding only about 100 case reports on deaths linked to nitrous oxide.
Since then, there have been hundreds of other cases added to the literature. This is like booming. The level of awareness about this has gone up, but so has the frequency of use, I imagine. So I think this is approaching a crisis at this juncture, and I think there has to be measures taken to regulate the access to the gas.
While nearly every tank we saw has a warning against inhaling the gas somewhere on the tank, addicts say that's just a thread through a loophole in the law.
I don't really know what you could even do with these other than suck them down.
It's incredibly dangerous, and yes, they should regulate it, and I think it should be done on a federal level.
Campbell is committed to encouraging lawmakers to do just that. First, by highlighting his family's struggles.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's why I'm relying on the news, and I'm relying on the state or Jefferson Parish or anybody to take this junk off the street.
Campbell feels once people understand the real threat of nitrous, regulations may help save someone else's daughter in the future. But without any promise for a change in law, he feels it allows businesses to keep supplying a high.
I worry about her, you know, every minute of the day. I feel like I'm gonna lose her every day. I want my daughter to grow up and live a good life and have a family, but she's running herself in the ground. And there's nothing I can do about it.
That was Rob Krieger reporting. Campbell says since our interview, his daughter was hospitalized because of her nitrous oxide abuse. He says she's currently paralyzed from the waist down, but says she's eager to begin